To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Talking Shop. I'm Jen King, and you're watching us here on The Experience. I'm here in my shop, Space Cadets, near the Houston, Texas area, and we're super excited. We've got our comic books in, and we're processing them for tomorrow to get ready for our live shows that happen on that day, and then to go out on the rack on Wednesday, which is, you know, still comic book day, even though books are coming whenever they come, which is kind of funny right now. But I have a good friend to come and talk with us about everything Black Caravan and all of his creative endeavors. It's Joe Schmalke.
Hey, happy spooky season.
Happy
This is
spooky
like
season to you.
the best time of the year.
True story. I grew up in a family who did not celebrate the Halloweens, and so we did All Saints Eve, which was pretty fun, and it wasn't the same night, but who cared? We still got to dress up and have fun. And now I do Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah. Well, you're down in the region where they'd actually have festivals and stuff, right?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Not up here. They don't do the De los Muertos in New England. We do it up for Halloween for sure, but not. It's too cold to do the sugar skull thing. I don't know.
I can understand that. And you have to have a bunch of, I think it's marigolds that you put on your.
Yeah, those things would like freeze to death and die. Sometimes it snows out here on Halloween, so there you go.
Really?
But yeah, no, it's October is my favorite time of the year. We made this our biggest rollout for Black Caravan for the year as well. So it's we're all about Halloween and October in general. At least I am.
So did you guys have any problems with kind of figuring out the release dates of things just because of the oddities that are happening for printing?
Yeah, of course. So there's paper shortages worldwide. There's, sometimes creators turn in things a little bit late. And because we are an indie publisher, that's just like kind of par for the course, is that we have to work with our creators' schedules and stuff like that. We're not totally cracking the whip on these guys all the time, but they try to get it in as fast as possible because the reality is if they don't get it in on time, it doesn't get on shelves on time. So
how do you walk me through this? Because you really have to know these kinds of things. Like, how do you walk yourself backwards from when you know it needs to get to now to the printer, which is earlier than ever before?
Just as fast as possible, basically. You're working at a breakneck speed at all times. The faster you get it into the printer, the less likelihood there is of there being any kind of errors or missteps. Even that being said, we've had books that were supposed to be due out in July that still haven't come out yet. It's just there's not, and that's not on the part of the creators or anything like that. It's just sometimes things get screwed up. One thing that we have changed at Black Caravan is after this October, There's no more specialty covers because we've had too many problems with them. So by that, there no hollow foil, no glow in the dark, anything like that, unless it's a real special event, because we've just kind of willy-nilly been allowing everybody to do it. We have too many printing errors and damages and stuff like that, and all that stuff takes a lot of time. So if you do like a special treatment on any of these covers, these like vanity covers or whatever, you're tacking on another 2 to 3 weeks of production time. So if a store gets like 300 of these or something like that, and they're all damaged, those all have to get redone, right? So that's another 3-week lag time. I just want our customers to be happy. I want people to actually get the books in their hands and read the books, right? Because that's the most important thing. We still have the coolest paper for our cover stocks and stuff like that. And we are allowing variant covers, just not these like weird specialty covers for a while. We need to refigure out how those are going to be done.
So funny, the most recent thing, Cherry Blackbird, that had the kind of like, it was like, it's like a puddle of stuff, but that was all, there was a glow in the dark.
No, that was Steak. Steak number 6. Okay. Yeah, I drew the cover for it, so maybe that's where you got confused. But Steak is moving over to Black Caravan next year. Their trade is coming out under our banner. So
it's funny, ours actually did come in damaged, but I kept them and listed them as super rare crackle versions.
Yeah, that's what happened. It happened to all of them, even the ones that were in like kind of good shape when I got them. They've all started to like puff up and crack off. So when you're dealing with stuff like that, that's a problem, right? Because people want to get something in good condition, and I understand the collector market as well, and I know how frustrating that can be for people. So I just rather bring everybody like a real quality product rather than like some flimsy, flashy crap that like falls apart in 2 seconds, right? Yeah. I just want everything to be like on point.
I do have to say, it looks really boss when it's falling apart. So,
well, that's good. That's a happy accident, is what we call that, right?
I thought it was an on-purpose thing for a little bit. I was like, this is a boss effect, but then I realized it wasn't uniform across all the copies. So I was like,
Yeah, I have a whole variant for We Don't Kill Spiders that has the exact same problem with it. I'll send you a couple copies, and you can enjoy the messed up versions of it. But do we want to go through some of these books?
Yeah, I want to.
What do you got? What do you have this week? And we'll talk about it.
I wanted to talk a little bit about We Don't Kill Spiders.
Okay, so I'm assuming you got issue 2 coming out?
I think so. Yep, 2.
Awesome. Yeah, so I just got this in from the printer last week. So yeah, this should be hitting shelves. Basically, the whole first issue is it's a whodunit. A necromantic witch and a berserker detective team up during the early Viking Age to solve a serial murder in this small village. And, a lot of things are left open-ended. You're left with a lot of questions. There's a lot less talking and a lot more action in this book. Ooh. So I hope you're not turned off by that if you're looking for a pure detective story, because it does come back around in issue 3, but you have to do stuff, right? We're in the comic book medium. People don't want to watch a bunch of talking heads. They want to see some action too. So it pays off quite a bit in this particular issue.
I cannot wait, honestly.
I tried to give like an action payoff without jumping the shark, but there's a lot to unpack in this. So that's.
Well, you know that it's going to pay off at some point. That you can't have a title like that and then have the lead witch say, "I'm sorry, I can't kill spiders," and have it not mean something to what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, and more of that gets unveiled right at the beginning of issue 2 as well. So
do we ever go back in time to find out why that happened to their sect of?
Oh, why they were So almost every issue has a flashback sequence to one of the characters. Okay. So issue 2 just focuses on Revna again. Issue 1, it was more of like her family, and yeah, we will get into that at some point. Can't give everything away right away. But what I will tell you is in issue 3, we get to know a little bit more about Bjorn the Viking, and you'll see why he is so questioning of the belief in these spirits and deities and gods in general and stuff like that.
I love so much when people write books like this, where you jump back and forth and you get them completely out of sequential orders.
And you're still left with questions and everything. I'm not spoon feeding the important thing as a writer, and in this case, I'm also the artist, is like, I know where all this is going, but I don't have to tell you that, right? That's part of like the onion. As you're peeling it away, you get little pieces of it, and then hopefully you want more.
Well, you also allow the reader to feel really smart, because you've clearly given them a heads up in the title. But when it happens, they're going to feel like the smartest person in the room, no matter what, right? They're the only person that could figure out.
You should be able to go back through, and if you followed the breadcrumbs, you'll be able to figure out what's going on, for sure. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, that doesn't make it. I'm not going to, if I got abducted by Kathy Bates, and she's like, you couldn't do that because, remember, she tortures the guy because he kind of jumps the shark on her for no reason. Yep. She's like, he didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car. I know I'm jumping all over the place with this story, but you know where I'm going with this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not going to pull a fast one on the reader. So what else we got coming out this week?
So how is the Electric Black going?
Oh, Electric Black. Yeah. That's the one book I don't have a copy of in front of me. So yeah, the sales on it were really cool. This is the Electric Black Dark Caravan is the issue that ties together Electric Black Presents, which is 3 issues, and then I put up 4 fingers, 3 issues, and then Electric Black, which is 4 issues. So where Electric Black left off with issue 4, a character, one of these cultists who has broken into the Electric Black, is being chosen as the vessel for the Yellow Stranger. You don't know which one of these cultists it is at the end of issue 4. And then we go through the whole background on all like 6 different characters for the Electric Black Presents. And Dark Caravan brings all those stories together. So you figure out who the Yellow Stranger is, you figure out where we're going with the story, everything's put back into a linear motion, and you can I can't talk about it, or I'm not supposed to, but I can pretty much tell you, if you look for Electric Black on Free Comic Book Day, you'll see it. And that will be it's going to be a free issue that leads into the next chapter, which is called The Electric Black Children of Cain.
Oh, dude. That sounds boss.
Yeah. So we've got a whole other year plotted out for that. And me and Rich keep saying like, oh, we're done drawing this together, yada, yada, because he's got a ton of work. I got a ton of work. We are coming back to do issue 0 of The Children of Cain. That'll probably be the last issue we work on for a while. I won't say ever again, but for a while.
I mean, I think you've got this set up so that you can revisit it when you want.
Yeah, and me and him will still continue to do covers for it and stuff. You know, that pretty much that's what we have the most bandwidth to do right now, especially for Rich. Doing sequentials for him is pretty impossible at this time, but he's going to continue to do covers for Electric Black and several of our other titles over at Black Caravan.
Perfect. We've got some viewership in the room. Brainy Singh from out at Enjoy Comics in Northridge, California has got a little smiley face coming up. And then Steve Zapp says, Joe is the man.
Thanks, Steve. He's picking me up. I'm going to be at Baltimore Comic Con this weekend on Saturday. We're going to do a 1-hour signing window. So if you're at Baltimore, me and Rich got nominated for Electric Black for a Ringo Award. So I'll be attending the award ceremony for that. We also have Craig Russo and Todd DeZago for Happenauts, one of our other books. They got nominated for Best Kids Book. And then another scout crew that will be there will be Bob and Kevin and maybe Walter for Metal Shark Bro. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, should be fun. So I'm just flying out for the day, and then I'm flying back.
You got too much work to do?
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of Baltimore. So, and not the show, the town. The town's bad.
I didn't think that I would like Baltimore, but the times that I've been there when they've had the Diamond Summit there, and we stayed just down right at the.
Yeah, no, I almost got jumped by a crackhead. Like last time I was there, I was like, what the hell? So like, yeah, that town is no joke. You know, I lived in New Orleans. I never felt like I was going to walk into a bad area or something. Baltimore, it's just like somebody tossed a fucking hand grenade and went off, and there's just homeless everywhere and they're crackheads. And I'm like, this is crazy. And we're sitting there talking about how like nuts the city was. And this guy walks by, he goes, I hear you bad mouth in my town. It's not that bad. Police helicopters flying overhead. Cars go like speeding around. I'm like, this isn't normal. Nope.
No, it shouldn't be that way. And I'm from New York, right? And New York is
Disneyland, basically. It's like one of the safest places to be.
There was a police officer on every single corner. I will have to say that.
Yeah. So.
And Jamie says it sounds like a slow day in LA.
What else we got coming out from Black Caravan? You said Cherry Blackbird. You got that? Which one? So these dropped one behind the other, 3 and 4.
They did. I noticed that. I was like, wow.
Yeah. It's done. It's all at the printer, but I think there were some delays at Diamond. I can't remember, but these are chasing one another really quick.
I know I read the number. I think that's 3. Is that 3 in your hand?
Yeah. This one has the like all nude fight scene at the end, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I don't want to give anything away about this book. It's just a really fun, it's a self-aware exploitation book. You know, she's a foul-mouthed rocker who has sold her soul for fame and fortune. She has 1 year to get her soul back, and in order to do that, she has to send 7 demons to hell. It's a fairly simple, like, it feels like a story that we've all heard before, but you haven't, not in the way I tell it, at least. And so yeah, issue 5 comes out in November. So stick around for the ride. Every issue's got its own awesome moment, I feel. And even though people hate it or love it, it's one of our top selling books. So that makes me really happy, considering the fact that I actually drew and wrote this book about 5 years ago.
Oh goodness, I would have never been able to tell.
Yeah, I've been just sitting on it. Scout initially, this was the property I pitched to them to get picked up by them, and they were like, "No, we're not putting this out. It's too adult." And then when they gave me my own imprint, I was like, "Well, no one can stop me now because it's my imprint." So I put it out.
I love the names of the chapters, like the last one, Me Gusta Cocaine.
Me Gusta Cocaine. So that the great story behind that is my friend Ryan Tierney. He was part of a fantasy football league, and you know they do cruel and unusual things to each other during these fantasy football leagues. And one of them was this one guy who won the year before, he got to pick everybody's team name. And my buddy Tierney's team name was Me Gusta Cocaine. So he gave me his jersey because they all got jerseys with their team name on it. So I've actually got a shirt at home with that on it. And I think the following year, the team name was Long Live Satan, which is the final chapter's name. So yeah, my buddy Tierney, thank you for
what are your teams?
Yeah, those are pretty good teams. And then of course, chapter 4 coming up is F the World. So
man.
Can't really write that on the cover, but I did on the inside.
So does it end at 5 or is it continue?
Yep, that's the end of this series. Now there's an overarching story with Cherry Blackbird, which feeds into a graphic novel that I also have, which is called The Infernal Pact. I don't think I'm going to re-release that book in its current format because it's pretty rough. Like it's earlier work that I had done. It's all done on scratchboard. You know, it's abstraction art rather than drawn. So I've had people come up by it and they're like, "You didn't draw this." I'm like, "Yeah, I did. It's just done on scratchboard." They're like, "It looks nothing like your work." I'm like, "It probably shouldn't. It's a completely different art form." Yeah. But I don't know if I want to put that out as it currently stands. Maybe I'd have the art redone, or maybe I just do. Rich was telling me to just re-release it, but we'll see. But that's only 3 issues. And it's about 3 meth heads that sell their soul jokingly for drugs. They wind up really cursed and they get turned into monsters and they get hunted down by devil-worshipping bikers and brain-eating zombies.
Of course.
And those characters do appear. There are crossover characters that do appear in Cherry Blackbird that are in the Infernal Pact.
Okay, so which books of yours actually have shared universe?
Cherry Blackbird and Infernal Pact have a shared universe. The third book in the series was supposed to be the Electric Black.
Mm-hmm.
But then we took this character, the Black Hen. He was the original proprietor of the Electric Black.
Oh.
We wrote him out and we created a new character who's very much like him, and that became Julius Black.
Okay. I like Julius. I can't imagine anybody
Julius Black is pretty coul. Yeah. The initial look of him was the Black Hen. So, yeah.
With our hobos.
Murder Hobo. Yeah. So that's moving over to Black Caravan as well. Ryan Brown is now the lead artist on it. Jason Lynch is still involved, but he's doing the lettering and the coloring. Issue 3 is supposed to be coming out in November. I don't think it will because everything's been delayed. So probably you'll get something similar to what we have with this book, where you're going to have 2 books dropping in December or something like that. But yeah, we've got 2 more issues coming out this year, issue 3 and 4. And then Chaotic Neutral, which is the current series, ends. And next year, we're relaunching Murder Hobo as Murder Hobo. That's it. It's going to be called Murder Hobo #1, and we're not going to renumber it again. We're going to try and run this thing into the ground. Like, I don't care if we stop making money on it. We're just going to keep making it because it's a cool property.
Does it focus on Roddy?
Huh?
Does it focus on Roddy?
So I don't want to ruin anything for any of the people that are fans of it, but they become a team. All of the Murder Hobos come together and they become a team. And in Murder Hobo, the series, it's all of them are together.
I can't imagine actual that character design of Murder Hobo being able to work together with anybody because they're by design.
No. So
stuff.
So Roddy the Rotten, that character is Jason Lynch, and I want to murder him half of the time. I got into I was calling him, I was questioning his upbringing, just yelling at him and stuff. And people were like, man, were you going to fight him? And I was like, I come this close, once a month to throwing down with this guy. He's one of my best friends. He's also really Roddy the Rotten. So think about that.
So Brainy says he's glad to hear you're going to keep the numbering going.
Yeah. So just please wait till next year. Now that I have a team that can solidly put out the book, part of the problem is that I'm not the artist on it, right? So I can meet deadlines for my own stuff, but Murder Hobo, I never wanted to draw it. It's supposed to be something I just have fun writing, and so now I have a really good partner with Ryan Brown as the lead artist on the series, with Jason still very much involved. With the coloring that he does is genius level stuff. It's just a matter of me cracking the whip on him and getting him to actually do it. So. And
Brian's full on crazy. He's the right person for the job.
Yep.
I love his character design. He's nuts.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So what else for?
Oh, right. So some stores will have this very soon. Some won't. This was one of these specialty covers that we've just run into a lot of problems with. It's really cool if you find a good copy of it. They asked me what we should do, and so I've decided to allocate out what we have of good stock to stores that ordered it through Diamond and Lunar. So some shops will be getting these very soon. It's the 4th printing of Phantom Star Killer. It's a glow-in-the-dark edition. It's just really pretty to look at, and it's actually based on the first card art that I did with Super 7, which I did the original Phantom Star Killer glow-in-the-dark colorway for the figure. And then what else we got? This should be hitting shelves. This one has come out, I believe. Broken Souls Ballad, number 4.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the first story arc's finale. If you guys aren't reading this, it's about it. Basically, think of New Mutants, but they all get their powers from a satanic cult. that torture them. So kids' powers come to light through. And they tried to rename the series to Hell is for Kids, and I was like, no, Broken Souls Ballad is much nicer.
Very poetic.
My partner, Rich Woodall, God's Brutality 2, it should be on shelves right now. It's very much, if you like Cherry Blackbird, I think you're going to like Gods of Brutality a lot. They're kind of like cousins as far as storytelling goes. And one of our bigger titles for October is The Swamp Dogs. So number one of that should be out in stores or coming out in stores. And it's a lesbian couple that team up with a punk rock band, and they are summoning, or there's a summoning of Confederate zombies. So all of that happens in Swamp Dogs.
So now you tied it together for me, because I only read the first issue, and the first issue doesn't make that very clear. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get that through the initial pitch, you know, that they sent us. So the first arc is 5 issues, and issue 2 is not far behind. I think it comes out in January or something like that. So, or December.
The cover is so gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. So the cover artist for this book, I have a whole bunch of albums that he designed the covers to. He works with Waxworks Records and all these other places. He's actually one of the, all he does for them are their covers, and he's one of the IP owners. And I was like, that's a really smart move. They got this amazing baller cover artist.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really sells the book. When I first saw the cover, I was like, I want to see more. You know?
I mean, you knew what you're getting into. There's a definite goosing that's happening on the cover.
Oh yeah. But and then for Happenauts, our graphic novel this month should be hitting stores as well. And again, these guys are nominated for the Ringo. I think they're gonna get it. So Greg and Todd are like,
area, is that right?
Huh?
Should that go in the kids area?
Yes. It should, but it's a Black Caravan book. We everybody's included in the Caravan, right? We don't discriminate against anything. And we do like kids books because I have kids. You know, my daughters think this book is amazing. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, we have these coming up soon too. We just signed a contract with Steve McManus, and we're going to be doing a set of zombie baseball cards with him and a comic book that goes with them. And these are amazing. So yeah, it's just super fun. New thing that we're trying here, because we want to do collectibles and stuff like that too.
Does that have stats?
What's up?
Does that have stats like shuffling?
Yeah, it has like some pretty brief. It's hard for me to show you on, but yeah, it does have stats on the back. He's got like a full set of 25 collectible cards here for this set, but we're going to do more with it. And like I said, how we're going to start it is with a card and a comic book. You know, old school like X-Force 1 or something. It'll be polybagged in or something.
They're going to be randomly put into them? So you have
No, I think every issue will come with a collectible card of some sort, and then maybe we'll reproduce a stack of these that will you can just buy sets, but the ones that come with comics will not be coming out in that set. They'll be like a special edition, and we'll have more Black Caravan exclusive boxes, and with those boxes we'll have an exclusive card that comes with those too.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, lots of cool different stuff. And we have an upcoming special 2 things coming out from Black Caravan next month, which are exclusive to us, so you can only get them through me or Rich. Right now we have a Black Caravan box where we have a Simon Bisley cover for God's Brutality. We've got a Scarecrow Oven cover for We Don't Kill Spiders, Beast Rat cover for Count Draco Knuckle Duster, and then a gold foil electric black cover. And we have a really big name doing a special cover for the Electric Black Dark Caravan. That should be here in November. And with that, there will also be an 8-page Electric Black holiday special.
Oh, nice.
And the only way to get that is through us. And if you're a preferred shop that has done variants with us, we're sending you 10 copies of that.
Oh, Thank you. That's awesome. So is that going to be like the full black Caravan box is the way to get all those fancy dances?
Yep. Unless you're, like I said, unless you're a store, then you'll just get 10 of those 8-page electric black holiday specials. So.
All right, drop your socials so everyone knows where to follow you.
Oh, where do I put that? In comments?
You could just say type it in.
Oh, right. Okay. So on Facebook, I'm Joseph Schmalke's storyteller. You can follow me there. I do have a regular Facebook account, but like I don't take new friends there because my wife gets weirded out by that. So everybody's allowed to follow me on the storyteller page though, because I don't post pictures of my family or kids or anything there. On Instagram, I'm at Schmalke. There's not a lot of us on Earth, so it's easy to find me. Twitter, at Joseph Schmalke. So that's all my social media stuff. And then my website is josephschmalke.com.
Perfect.
And then our company website is theblackcaravan.com. And we still have a couple of those Black Caravan boxes available. We're doing a live event on Friday where we're selling a couple more. So if you want to get one of those, you get 4 exclusive covers and then some extras as well.
All right, everybody, remember you can go and hunt down Mr. Schmalke at Baltimore Con. When did you say Saturday?
I'll be there on Saturday. I'm not sure what time I'm doing a signing, but I should be at Rich's table. Okay. And he'll be posting an announcement when that's happening. And then I'll be at the Ringo Awards. And then I might show up again on Sunday because my flight doesn't leave till like 3. So I might come in the morning for another hour and do one more signing. So if you want to get me and Rich to sign your electric blacks or anything else that we work on, I'll be around for a little bit of time. And I do not charge for signatures. I only charge for remarks. So come get your stuff signed.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Joseph. We're so happy to have you on. I'll see you next time. Everybody out there on the experience, do not leave. We have our next interview coming up with Brian Haberlin. We'll see you in a sec. Everybody, and welcome back to Talking Shop. We're having a really great day today talking about books that are going to be either in your stores, local comic shops right now, or coming out this week. And your long wait is over for fans of Hellcop. Brian Haberlin's bringing it back. Here's the man himself.
Hey, Jen.
Hello.
How are you?
What will it buy me?
That's if you actually end up in hell, that'll get you back across the river Styx.
Okay, good. I'm gonna keep it in my purse in case, because you never know.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for
just
that, by
in
the way.
case.
I love those things.
But I don't know if you know the update. It's not going to be here Wednesday. It's going to be here next week.
Oh, that's right. There was a delay, but
There was a delay, and it was not intentional, and it was kind of a good thing, kind of. Though I'd rather not have it delayed. So when we did the 3D book, we have to print the glasses ahead of time, and I pioneered all the new 3D techniques. I do all the Marvel stuff, my studio, and all that kind of stuff. But we have to guesstimate the thing. So before FOC, we had the number that we had, and I was like, okay, I'll add another 500 to that number, and that should be fine. Well, it was 1,500, and in the success we had of the rest of the numbers that we got in on Hellcop, I was happy enough that I didn't think, oh yeah, we need to now immediately go back and print some more. It was more like, uh-oh. But what's kind of interesting for those in the know, which now you and your friends are, the additional ones are different glasses than these and a shorter run. They'll be just pure black glasses, not the printed Hellcop ones that are in these.
So we'll need both of them because we got to collect it all.
Yeah. Well, we have so many. I mean, this was the first time that I opened up the store variants on the books. So we have 14 covers here from some really, really great folks. I mean, we got Jason Sean Alexander. And I love too that just, even the guys who I didn't really know ahead of time did some really cool theme ones. Ooh. So you have this Doom style one.
Yeah.
Right? We have, again, Jason Sean's one.
Ooh.
They did also a black and white of Jason's.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, and this was a fun one. This is a guy, Ken. He does all these they're like these voodoo doll versions of things, which
I know exactly what that's homaging.
I just thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I'll do that.
That's a Venom 3 homage.
This one was stunning.
Oh yeah, I saw that one somewhere that had been posted. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that one was stunning. This is my a polar bear demon in a snowstorm cover.
Gotta have it.
Yeah. We did this was our bigger incentive. Todd was gracious enough to let me use one of my favorite Hellions in Hellcop, at least on the cover. In black and white. And this is the one that people don't get to see that much because it's only solicited from the front cover, but it's a wraparound.
Oh wow.
Yeah. With all our nasty little cherubs on the back. I imagine what that's like in hell. So you have all these babies flying around. There's drinking, smoking, and no diapers. Imagine bird poop. Think about, they're not well loved in the whole hell community. Another Virgil one.
Did you bring the lore from the previous storylines through to this one, or did you start fresh?
This is fresh, but the concept's basically the same. It's that we've got into other dimensions. We punched a hole for the first time in the experiment with the USS Eldridge when the Navy was trying to find invisibility technology, and a mix of Tesla technology with patched together Einsteinian technology, and they made these giant Tesla coils and fired them up, and the Eldridge, boom, the destroyer disappeared. And people, oh, cool, invisibility. No. Shoved it into another reality, and That's why actually Hellcop Central is based in Philadelphia, actually below the shipyards where we punched that hole in the first place. But in the 40s, we couldn't control anything. We didn't know how to work it. We didn't have the technology for it, and it took till the 80s until we could really start pointing at things. And we visited a bunch of other realities, but they were always like pocket universes made of gases and nothing there really. The only one that really had stuff in it was plane 1301A, which was a dead ringer for most of the beliefs and societies of our Earth and what hell is. And it's a place, it's not like it's like there's creatures there, they're indigenous creatures, and because there's soft spots that link between our planet and their planet, most of our legends of those scary things come from something accidentally coming through, and like not necessarily trying to be evil or anything, it's just monstrous to us because it doesn't exist here, and they go back. I mean, the Loch Ness Monster is from hell, and that's why you can't find it again, because it's gone back through a soft spot.
Oh no. So do you address other kind of like what are seen kind of as like scary other creatures like vampires?
Well, Sasquatches are native to hell.
Of course.
Chupacabras are native to hell. Almost any sort of scary legend we have, that's what it's from. But of course, it's us being scared of the thing because we see it and it looks so weird to us that we're freaking out. Because we also, with the same technology we had when we could control the reality shifting. We could detect that the human life force actually passes through that dimension. And in some cases, it recorporates there. In some cases, it continues on to another dimension that we can't track. We haven't been able to track that yet, And it's not because people are evil or anything like that. There's no, the Hellcops themselves are like, maybe they're holding on to something here or unfinished business, or there's no clear reason as to why. But what's fun about that is, we got lawyers over there, doctors over there. We have, John Lennon is still alive in hell, and he's done his 11th solo album.
It's so awesome.
So it's like it's kind of just taking that nut of an idea that there's another reality, and humans have been there as long as the native species have been there, and just playing with it and pulling it out.
So you've taken it away from being an evil place to just being another place.
It's just another. You think of it like more like an alien planet.
So Brainy has a question. Brainy says, do people need to be familiar with the original or previous releases to jump in?
Not at all. Not at all.
Can you tell that I need a new prescription glasses? As I'm like, I'm going to guess at the words that are over there. It's like been since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, they're messy too. They're also dirty.
No, we've been doing some fun sculpts too.
Oh, he looks great.
Got Virgil. We're actually probably going to do another marked.
Nice.
Marked issues some next year probably.
It's hard to give her sigil though.
What's that?
It's hard to give her sigils.
If you could see this tied up, she's got them all.
You can see it all.
I don't think my camera is going to be good enough to.
No, there's not any contrast, unfortunately.
But she is fully tatted up.
Ooh. Oh, Jen Burns wants to know: are there comic stores in hell?
There are, absolutely. The technology, so the other kind of fun part about it is the physics model is slightly different than ours. So there is magic there. And our regular technology doesn't work as well there. So if I took a regular gun to hell and I shot somebody with it, you get and the bullet would sort of ambulate out of the barrel and fall to the ground. It really wouldn't do what it's supposed to do, So all the technology that the Hellcops use are slightly steam stuff works, so it's a little more steamified, most of their technology, and some of them, though they're not supposed to, will use magic, but magic's not like, again, kind of taking magic is imagine like, how we have our, our phones and our tech, right? So magic is very much like that. So you
Right.
buy a device that some magic techs in a warehouse factory made, and it does X, Y, and Z, and you don't need to know how to use magic. You just need to tell it, you need to hit it to turn it on, and just like this, So
Yeah.
that's how magic works. And then if you bring that back over to the earth side, it's not going to work as well either. It's going to work like 5% of what it would,
I love Brainy's thought process. His first thought process about your answer about whether there's comic shops in hell is, how's the rent? You may want to open a branch.
Where's that other thing?
All right, so
This was, if we went back all the way, way back, that was the first appearance.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've got those laying around somewhere. I just have this one. I went and gutted these out.
This is ballistic imagery, where I tried when I was vice president at Top Cow to do a little anthology series, which didn't end up doing super great, but Virgil's first appearance was there. I mean, it's funny, you can see the age by the Witchblade 3 ad on the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty stuff. Yeah, I didn't remember this Avalon Studios imprint.
Yeah, that was Wilson I's company that we started, and that was the one where actually where Stone was first published. So we went with Image after the first issue. When in '98, when Stone first came out and we started Avalon, the very first issue was the highest selling independent book of '98, the entire year. And then I discovered how hard it was to run a comic company and deal with distributors and all that stuff at the same time. So my wonderful friends at Image decided to let us join in with them, and then they got to handle all that stuff. So that was great.
Did I see you talking about on social media that you're gonna delve back into Stone as well?
We're doing an omnibus Kickstarter that we're going to start next month, and we're going to have Wills came by. We shot promotional videos last week. He came by. He and his wife came by, and again, because we're going to do all of it's going to be omnibus. It's going to be all the spec behind this. Can be just, A+ material, and it's going to have retailer tiers too, so retailers can get stuff too. But he had all the first 3 issues of the original art from Stone.
Oh.
So, and what's cool about it, so it's not just like, okay, here's this final ink stuff. Here is also the original pencils.
The process. So how does he have pencils still and then also inks? Does he just photocopy?
I believe that Wills was in the U.S. at this time when he did this.
Okay.
And Edgar Tadeo, who was just an amazing inker, colorist, all that stuff, then did a blue line. And you can see, like, I think he probably did a green line. You can see, like, on the back of this where he probably tried one print.
Yeah.
But again, all this stuff is stuff that people don't see. And even, on the back of the original cover, Wills has some, breakdowns.
Yeah.
Basic stuff. I wonder if I'm better off turning on another light. I'm going to turn on another light. What's that?
Let there be light.
That's going to be too bright, but we'll see.
Bright light.
But so Wills came by, and all the original art for the first 3 issues. We had television shows, movie, all that kind of stuff going. So we have all the designs for the animated show. We have all, because when Wilson and I both kind of attack comic creation, we attack it like we're going to be doing a movie. And so we do like almost all the same ground-based design stuff that you would get in movie pre-production. So you'd have the character and turnarounds, how musculature works for a certain kind of monster, and all that kind of stuff.
Thumbnails.
It's just crazy. It's just, I'm coming, I'm right back, I'm coming. And this is just the tiniest taste, and again, for me, especially when I was a fan, especially now, even screw me when I was a fan, you know, having just all this design material.
That's so wonderful.
I mean, stuff that's just, you know, the different stylization for the animation stuff as opposed to the other stuff. And but it's just, I mean, it's a full. I have about 5 inches worth of art for this thing that we'll be able to put in as
for
additional
people that are
material.
not familiar with Stone, what is the story of Stone? Because it's one story I haven't read.
Really, really simple thing. It's really heavy into the Philippine mythology, but basically, imagine if Chris Hemsworth was actually Thor and didn't know it.
I can imagine this very well.
So Stone, so Jerry Allen plays Stone, the legendary character in television and the movies, and all of a sudden on the set of the movie one day, there's this monster. Wow, that's the best special effects makeup I've seen so far. He's like, I challenge you, and all of a sudden, no, I'm not real. I'm not real. These stones, they're not real. All of a sudden, they flare up, and he's running for his life because he didn't know, and he doesn't know how to work any of his powers,
right,
and all that stuff. And it's very much sort of a Highlander-esque thing, is that throughout all these shadow universes, these characters come and challenge for these magical items, and if they defeat you, they get them.
Oh no!
And he's
like, "Gotta learn quickly how to use them."
And it's also fun too because he's a totally horrible, egotistical movie star to start with, and does the whole arc to becoming a true hero at the end of the day, and self-sacrificing and all that stuff.
So he is the early Thor, who just thinks he's the bee's knees.
Yes, and then he becomes the later Thor stuff. But yeah, that was it was funny back in the day because we did it in '98. It was more like, God, what if Kevin Sorbo was Hercules and didn't know it?
Mm-hmm. There were sometimes when I kind of like, when I go to, like, let's say San Diego Comic-Con and go to a panel.
Yeah.
You know, there's sometimes you go and the actors are like clearly like, thanks for supporting me and I liked playing this character and it was very fulfilling and that's nice. And then you go to panel rooms sometimes in which the actors act and discuss everything as if they are the character still.
Right.
And they take it very seriously. And I so much more enjoy the second version of it where they're just like, they totally bought in. They are Admiral Adama or whatever.
Yeah. And then we have also, you know, in stores right now, we got the Lighthouse trade. Mm-hmm. And again, this was just the most well-reviewed of anything I've ever done in my entire career. Just people, it was just, when I repost the reviews, I would just have to say, listen, I didn't pay them anything. I don't know them.
Well, it took me by surprise, honestly, because it's Jules Verne in the name. You think you're getting steampunk and it's going to feel Victorian, and that's not what we got. This is pure sci-fi amazingness.
And it's fun because it's actually in my Anomaly universe for my big graphic novels Anomaly. So it's the conglomerate, it's the same, and we have actually a couple characters in there that people know the Anomaly universe can recognize from the graphic novels with the pirates.
So your the technology that you champion pirate, you started, you created. Are there new things that are happening in the 3D world that you're getting going?
For me, I'm getting more into doing the animated shorts. Because I think that is I think it's fun, and that's kind of also, I mean, the chasing of what's popular and the chasing of what you think other people will like is not, I mean, like this weekend I got to spend, my son was down from UC Santa Barbara, and we went to the Stones concert night, but we had time in LA, so we went to the La Brea Tar Pits, and then we went to LACMA, the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. And for me, it's like when I go through that stuff, it's just all about grabbing more ideas. You know, I mean, and that's where I think an artist, when they're like just stuck, you know, at their home, even if they're, I mean, fine, you know, going online and looking at things, that's great. That does work. But going to a real place and standing in front of a piece of artwork and kind of going, oh yeah, I get, oh that, oh yeah. But if I took that and did this with it instead, that could be really cool, you know? And I'm seeing a lot of, there's a guy on Instagram, if you like horror, and there's a couple of these guys, but this guy I think does the best one. It's Shortest Blockbusters is his Instagram thing, at Shortest Blockbusters. And they're just these 10-second CG, realistic CG horror pieces. And they're so good, you know? But I think his missing piece is he doesn't do any narratives with that stuff. He's got a huge following now. He's got like, I think it's like 10 million on TikTok, over 1 million on Instagram, but they're all just these little random sort of things. If he could link them together with a narrative and then say, here's also the book you can get, you know, and all that stuff, it's just totally missing. And it's missing from almost all of those people. And it's like, you know, especially with the weird kind of black and white animation style that I have going right now, that I think is fairly unique. That's my main, going to be my main kind of push. Besides, of course, I mean, doing the comics at the same time, but because of the way I work, I have all those assets for all that stuff.
Yeah, you guys, everyone out there, you should follow Mr. Haberlin on all the social media, because you posted, I think, I saw at least 3 animations, the black and white animations. Yeah. Recently. They look amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're fun. And again, what I like about them is I don't see anything else that really looks like them. And to me, that's an important thing, you know.
It's true. It's like the opposite of shadow, it looks like to me. Like everything's in black except for the character, but only the part that's the light's hitting it. It's so pretty. Yeah. So where should people follow you on social media to be able to see all the cool stuff you're working on?
Well, let's see. They should follow me at... Well, they go Haberlin.com is one place, and that has all my original oil paintings and some of the regular paintings I have. We have Experience Anomaly. We have, for Twitter, that I barely do at all, at Haberlin. The one that we do better on Twitter is the Anomaly World, which is I don't have to do. My wonderful assistant does, and that's why it has more things going on than mine. And then we have on YouTube, we have Brian, or on Instagram, Brian Haberlin Official. We have Experience Anomaly on YouTube, where I have some tutorials. We also have my sites, the educational sites that a lot of people aren't aware of anymore, because I've kind of let them slide while I've been doing it. So digitalarttutorials.com has a ton of free tutorials. All my old ones that used to cost $50 a head are free. There's like, I think one on there that you have to pay for anymore, you know. But even on my YouTube, and just do a Brian Haberlin search on YouTube, you'll see little tutorials on how to do things that I'll throw up as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Brian.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You come up. I love that you get to come and hang out with me. We get to figure out what's coming up next.
And you're not coming to San Diego, right? It's too close to Thanksgiving for you?
It would be so mean to my staff to be gone on Black Friday, so I just thought I'd like to keep them around. So I didn't do that.
Got it. It'll be interesting to see how big it is. How was New York? Was New York a decent size?
I thought it was really great. You could tell it was different than years before. Yeah, I was there in whatever the last one, 2018, I think.
And so it felt like the same size crowd?
No, it was a much smaller crowd, but it felt like it was still, everyone seemed happy and enjoying what they were doing there. So
yeah, I don't think that's the issue. I was just curious about the crowd size. That's what I thought when I saw pictures. It seemed like that was the case. But anyway, thank you for having me, Jen.
I appreciate you so much. All right, everybody out there in the experience land, don't go bug your local comic shop for an actual physical copy of Hellcop this week, because it's not coming out this week. It's next. But do go tell them to add it to your pull list. So yes, definitely do that.
Please do.
Thank you, guys. Stick around. There's more stuff coming on the experience.